Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel for another speed build. Today we are building a family home in Willow Creek, and this is for 5 sims in total, and it's built only using base game and the Parenthood game pack. Lately I've just been really inspired to do some pack restricted builds, and I think the previous one I did was with the Island Living expansion pack, and I really loved how that came out. So yeah, I think I just want to challenge myself into doing more pack restricted builds, and also for some of you who only have, a couple of packs, then, and I don't know, I think it's really nice to be able to, download a build from the gallery and not having to just fill up the other stuff that was originally from another pack just because you don't have items from that pack. You get what I mean? But yeah, so I had originally planned to build a modern Spanish inspired house and upload it this week, but somehow while building it, I realized I didn't quite like the exterior of it. I followed a floor plan, and after building like almost the entire thing, I found that the exterior was just really very long, and I wasn't vibing with it, especially with the roofing. And I think I mentioned before, but I've been having issues with roofings in The Sims. Like, I just can't quite get the hang of it. So I decided to just scrap it and build a family home instead. And I think the problem with me is that whenever I scroll through Pinterest, I just get so carried away just by how the front of the build looks that I kind of just forget. I think I just like never imagined how I would want the back of the exterior to look like, because for the most part all these pictures only give the front view of the house, so then the back part is just up to your imagination when you put it in The Sims. And then when I look at the floor plan, I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is such a long house. Yeah, so this time around for the floor plan, I was looking through Pinterest, and then I found one that I think would be easy to build, especially with the roofing. So I'll put up a picture of it on the left hand side of the screen so you can see the reference picture that I have. Yeah, so I'll definitely revisit the modern Spanish inspired house again soon. I don't know how other talented builders do it, honestly. Last week my Instagram feed was just like filled up with many Spanish inspired builds, so it kind of got me thinking like, oh, maybe I could try my hand at it too, but look where it got me. But anyways, let me tell you, pack restricted builds can be quite tough, especially having built with many packs in the game for quite some time. And for this particular build, I mainly struggled a lot with the parents' bedroom and just cluttering up the space in general, because I found that I kept reusing the same things over and over again, because the Parenthood game pack just didn't really come with a lot of clutter items. Like, I think it's mainly for kids, and I mean like teenagers and things like that, but nothing really for the parents. Like, there isn't even like a bed for the parents, so I had to use a base game one. And I mean, even though they added new swatches to the base game beds, but like, I'm really not a big fan of it, to be honest. So I just found that I kept reusing the same things over and over again. Yeah, and it's just sad because this build, I honestly had like, there was one point of time where I was just like, oh my god, what should I add here? And I'm just like, I have no idea what to add here. So, but the good thing about doing pack restricted builds is also I just find myself using things that I would never have thought to use if I wasn't doing a pack restricted build. So I think some of the things that I remember putting in that I would never have, I think would be like some frog tank or I think there was like a fish. I can't remember if I placed in a fish bowl, but like there were a lot of random things that I put in. But yeah, and then, but I do have to say that the kitchen countertops and cabinets from the Parenthood game pack are one of my favorites in game, and for this build I went with the orangey brown swatch, which I thought really gave off the cozy vibe, the cozy family vibe. And you can see that right now I'm just starting off with the kitchen. The kitchen is quite small, but I think it's okay. It's not really that small, but I think it's like a good enough kitchen size for a family of 5, especially like the build is so small. So yeah, so I gave them a microwave, which I thought looked really nice, tucked in under that the shelf unit there. And the bay, I don't know, the window here, I think I really like that I used this window here. It just makes the whole kitchen area look slightly bigger, just because it's like protruding out a little bit. Yeah. So I also gave them like a small island table where, you know, you can sit there and have breakfast if you are late for school. I don't know. Or you can also do work there. It doesn't really matter. But yeah. So I really tried to use the stuff from the Parenthood game pack. So there's this blue box thing that I put at the edge of the countertop, and I think that is honestly where you might store your bread or just like dried goods in general. And I thought it's really cute, so it comes in a lot of swatches, and I decided to use one that looks a bit more I don't know, more lively, I would say, just because it's like a family home. And I imagine that, you know, maybe one of the kids painted it at school when they were younger, and then the parents are now using it. And then over here by the island table, I also placed this thing from Parenthood, which I don't really know what that is, but I think it's where you can, you know, where kids it's just something that I think kids decorated or made, and then you can kind of slot things into it, something like where you can put like letters and things like that, I think. But yeah, moving on to the dining area. So the dining area is pretty small. I had wanted to put in 6 chairs, yeah, because there were like 5 Sims. And honestly, at this point, I really didn't know how many Sims there were gonna be in this build, so I was just, you know, playing around. So originally I had 6 chairs, then I just reduced it to 4 because I thought it was a bit too crowded, and yeah, just too many things going on, and I was worried like the Sims couldn't get around. So instead I put like this other table on the side where I placed like some cake and cookies and some, I don't know, some plate artwork that maybe one of the kids had done, and then the family just wanted to display it somewhere. But yeah, it's just like a really nice cozy dining area, nothing too fancy. Of course, I did place another chair at the corner of the room, so I don't know, maybe like the family can pull that chair to like the end of the table, and then all 5 of them can have lunch, can have their meals together. And over here you see that I put a baby chair. Afterwards I removed it because at this point I was just like, okay, you know, why not just like make a room for a baby, like at this point. And then like while I was decorating the rooms, I was just like, no, I'm not gonna build one for a baby because there's really nothing much with just base game and the Parenthood game pack. And honestly, babies, I think they're just objects in the game, so you can't really do much with them, and I didn't want to dedicate one whole room to the baby. Yeah, so I scrapped that idea. And yeah, I think we're now moving on to the living room. So for the living room, I tried to use as many items from the Parenthood game pack as well. So the fireplace is from Parenthood, the couch is from Parenthood. I really like this swatch. There are a couple other more swatches. I think I wanted to use the one with, I think it was this dark green cushion and then like really dark brown, like dark brownish wood. But then I thought it was going to be a bit too dark for this like this family home, so I decided to go with this blue one. And then I paired it with this base game single sofa unit thing on the other side of the room. Yeah, and I imagine probably one of the parents like to paint like as a hobby, so I included an art easel here, and then some artwork on the ground as well that you'll see in a moment. And then the pictures on the side, I just thought maybe it could be their ancestors or like their grandparents. I have no idea, but I just thought it would be quite cool to have it there. And then also a side table here by the back door. So one thing about this family home is that it's just too small to have a backyard. So there's only like this sitting area where you can sit at the back porch. Like the back porch is super small, so you can basically only sit there and yeah, you can probably eat, you can read and whatnot, but just know it's really, really very small and nothing really nice about it. Of course, when you download this build, you can always add in your own stuff. So this build is already up on my gallery. You can download it using my origin ID shansimsyt or find it under the hashtag shansimsyt. And I think right now we're just choosing the wallpapers for this build. I honestly cannot imagine using just base game again, because it's really very, I don't know, it just feels very restricted. Yeah, I mean, you get what I mean. And I have done a base game build before, and it's also a family home. Yeah, I think I also faced like the same issues, struggling with cluttering the items. And I know there's debug, but then again, there's just so many things in debug, and I can't copy the items when I want them. So it's like every time I need something, I need to pull it out from debug itself, and it's quite annoying. Like, can the Sims just make it such a thing where I can copy items from debug, so I don't need to, keep scrolling through it and just keep dragging items out? Yeah, just do something about it, Sims 4. And now we're just moving on to the parents' bedroom, and this is the one that I mentioned earlier. I was struggling to, just fill up the space. So it ended up being really plain and just nothing really much. Like I couldn't really think of anything to add in the parents' bedroom, and I just thought, they probably, okay, I honestly don't have any idea what the parents do. Maybe you can let me know what they do, just based on the interior, I guess. But I did put a workspace, like a small workspace on the other side of the bed. So I imagine maybe one of the parents works from home. Yeah, and I did put this corkboard in their bedroom as well. So there are like many pictures or postcards of places, and I imagine maybe that those are some places that they would like to visit as a family in the future. Yeah, I just thought it was a really cool thing. And then for this bedroom, this I imagine is for a teenager, like a teenager boy. So he has a bedroom to himself, and he's really into science, and yeah, just science in general. So he prides a lot on all his science projects and things like that. He's really into robots, and I think he might end up growing up to be like this really smart kid. Yeah, I've always wanted to be a smart kid, to be honest. I was never that smart in school. I'm just like the average kid, just doing averagely. Is that even such a word? But like, I'm just a kid who does like average in school. Nothing like my parents. I honestly, the only time I wowed my parents was when I did so exceptionally well for my PSLE. So if you don't know, PSLE is just like this major exam you have to take if you're in primary school, like in your last year in primary school, so primary 6. I have no idea like what's the equivalent in America, but in Singapore at least, you'll have to go through this thing called the PSLE when you're primary 6, and then that will kind of determine which of the secondary schools you can apply to afterwards. So so we had prelims for the PSLE, and I think I scored like 199 out of 300, and my mom, at least my mom, I think, was really worried about me. So that 1 month before the actual PSLE, I really just studied my ass off. And then I got a 234 out of 300, and that was really surprising for my mom, because I think she really didn't expect me to do so well. Like, it was such a huge leap from 199. Honestly, I was very shocked myself that such a thing could happen to me. So yeah, so, and afterwards I think I'm just back to being an average kid, just doing average in school. But honestly, there's nothing wrong with being average. Yeah, just embrace yourself, guys. So right now we're on to the third bedroom, the last bedroom of the house. So I imagine this is a bedroom for two twin girls. I don't know whether maybe they're teenagers as well, because I do think the bedroom kind of screams teenagers with all the colors and posters. So probably they're just either 1 year older or 1 year younger than their teen brother. So the age gap is not that big. And I don't know why, but I always like the idea of putting twins in the same room. Just because, I don't know, it's like, isn't this pretty cool? Like, you get to sleep with your twin sibling or something. Maybe I should build a opposite twins apartment or something like that, so you can see like how one twin is and how the other twin is. Oh my god, what am I talking about? But you get what I mean. Yeah. So this twin bedroom is really colorful. A lot of pops of colors. So of course this can also be a twin room for like twin boys as well. I mean, it doesn't have to be twin girls, to be honest. You can always change up the swatch of the bed, or you can always leave it like this, because honestly the swatches could be for anybody. Yeah. And I'm sorry if the background is a bit noisy. I'm actually recording this in the afternoon because I'll be slightly busy at night. Usually I do my voiceovers at night just because it's a little bit quiet, but right now it's almost 12:30, and I think the kids are getting off from school, so parents are picking them up, and the school is just right outside my room, to be honest, so you can hear everything. Yeah, it's not the greatest, to be honest, because they're always screaming, and I can always hear the national anthem in the morning. Yeah, it's pretty loud. Sometimes it's like my alarm. Yeah. And yeah, so the bathroom is really simple as well. It's a 3x2 bathroom, so really small. I couldn't really add anything else, but I really like the shower tub combo. The swatches that come with the shower tub combo is really very nice. I think this is by default the one I always use, like this swatch, the one that looks like waves. Yeah. And so the hallway here to the bedrooms, I also included like this laundry basket from Parenthood, and I also added this board thing. I honestly haven't played with the game. Like, I haven't played with the Parenthood game pack, so I don't really know what that is, but I think it could be something where the kids just write down which days, like who does the chores on which days and what chores and things like that. So I remember I have that when I was younger, so we would always write down who will be washing the dishes or making the bed or something like this, and we would always stick on the wall. But it was something that we only follow for like 1 week, and then we just totally forget about it. So I had no idea why we even do that in the first place, but it was pretty cute. Yeah. And I think it's maybe like a good starting point to kind of get children involved in doing housework and things like that. I mean, if I have kids in the future, I would definitely implement something like this. Obviously, I'm not going to clean everything for them. When they grow older, they have a responsibility to do it themselves. So yeah, I mean, I'm not there to help them do stuff like this. They gotta be used to it themselves, right? And yes, over here, that is the frog tank that I was talking about that I don't think I ever used. And I think this picture is also new. I don't know if it's like something new that they have added into the game, but I honestly don't remember seeing it. Yeah, and over here I'm just, adding in the curtains because I didn't add it in the first place. And I think from this point onwards, I think it will all be the exterior landscaping. So over here I did put like the small sitting area that I mentioned, and then I also like kind of put up a fence. And you can see that I had wanted to kind of fence up this area and add a pool, but I realized it would be too small and it would be too cramped, and I was just like, you know, why not, instead of trying to squeeze a pool in, maybe I could just do one without a pool, so this family home doesn't have like a backyard where they can do activities outside. But I honestly don't think it's a bad idea. There are pretty much a lot of things you can do in the house, and they can always visit community lots to do things. One thing, okay, so here's the thing about community lots. I have always wanted to try renovating a community lot, but I don't know, I feel like it's really daunting, and community lots are always very big, so I don't know if I can do it. So that'll be something I can explore in the future, but definitely not now, because I don't want to stress myself out. I mean, I'm already stressing myself out over like a 40 by 30 lot size, so definitely don't want to stress myself out with more. But yeah, so actually over here I really wanted to find things from the debug menu, and I did find quite a bit. Yeah, but I also spent a lot of time here, like while landscaping, just looking through debug, looking at some of the stuff that I could use, because the flowers here aren't the best. Yeah, and I think this is the first time I used the daisies here, and I think they look really nice. And I like to, you know, just put rocks in to like stuff up and make it look more realistic. So that's what I've been doing for a lot of my builds recently. Yeah, the exterior is actually pretty simple. I just put like a lot of grass and flowers in the front, and I also added this monkey bar here. I thought it would be really cool. I thought it was probably something that the parents built when the kids were younger, so that they could, you know, have some sort of activity, exercise, some sort of thing going on. Yeah, and I thought like they probably just left it here even after the kids grow up to be teenagers, so other neighbors, their kids can come and use it. Yeah, so I just thought it was like pretty cute. And I also placed out some planter boxes here. Maybe one of the parents like to do some gardening in their free time. And also, okay, I think this was the point where I looked through debug and then also picked out a lot of items. I think I added a lot of gnomes, and then there's this flamingo statue. I just thought they look really cute. Like adding it here. I don't think I've actually added gnomes to my exterior, like the landscaping, so I thought it was like a nice little touch. This is the part where I said doing pack restricted builds really forces you to just make use of things you have not used before. And I'm really happy with how the front of this house is looking like. And yeah, just scrolling through debug again, and then I think we're pretty much done. I think afterwards I just added a lot of plants on the side, so really nothing much afterwards. But screenshots will be coming up soon, and I hope you'll enjoy them. I hope you like this build today, and don't forget to click subscribe, turn on the notifications button so you'll be notified each time I post a new video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.